You know that feeling when you're doing ministry and you're in full-time ministry already, and you know that feeling when you don't want to meet that student because you're tired, you're stressed, you got something to do, and you know your house is a mess. But you see that text, or you see them on their social media, you know what they're going through, you realize they need it, and just something inside of you just moves, and you do it, and you go meet that person. And I know we all feel that. Sometimes we wrestle with it longer than others. For most of us, for many of you, that feeling is so short already. It's almost like it's just a second or a split second because you just kick into this mode where you know God called me to do this. I'm gonna go meet this person. It's like that verse in the Bible, you know, where Christ's love compels us. I don't have a choice but to meet this person. I don't have a choice but to do that. You know that feeling? I feel that a lot. That comes from your sense of calling, our sense of calling. The idea that it's not about my comfort, not about my preference, but God called me to do this. That's why I disciple students. That's why I go the extra mile. You probably have family members who look at you and wonder, why do you do this? When will you get a real job? Diba? Hanggang kailan mo tutuloy yung hobby mong yan? Diba? I know too many people who think our calling is a hobby. But it's not. It's a calling. I don't have a choice. If God had told me to do something else, I would do that. And sometimes I wish He didn't call me to do this, but He did. That's the first mindset that's going to help you with your MPD. Calling. Did God call you to do this or not? Because if you know that God called you to do it, then it doesn't matter whether it's not comfortable, it's not my preference, it's not easy, it's embarrassing, people say all these things about it, pwede nang gawin yung ginagawa nila, pwede nang sabihin yung sinasabi nila, pero ito yung pinapagawa ni Lord sa akin. Dito ako tinawag ng Diyos. The same passion that we put to discipling students, to leading a team, to raising leaders, to empowering volunteers, to going on campus, that's the same passion that goes into MPD. God called me to do this. Is that your conviction now? Is that your mindset now? Because if God called you to do campus ministry, and God called you to do campus ministry with us, then God called you to do MPD. I like this verse in the Bible in 2 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 8, that says, "And God is able to make all grace abound to you, so that in all things, having all sufficiency in all times, you may abound in every good work." You know what? That's what MPD allows us to do. When you have what God's given you, the provision, then you can do more. That's what inspires me about MPD. It's not just for me, though there's nothing wrong with that. But Lord, with this, I could do more for you. When Carla and I were believing God to buy a house, we had a condo from her career, we wanted to buy a house. We thought to ourselves, you know what, there's a house that's within our budget already. We don't need to stretch our faith for this. But we said, you know, we want a house with a guest room so that we can have people live there and stay there. Because so many people in every nation visit, so many students need homes. Parang ganun, we want a house with a big living room so that people can stay there. And that was our prayer. And it stretched our faith. And it was harder. Now, the payments are harder. But we believe God called us to this, not for ourselves only, but as part of the call that He has for us. That's what MPD is for you. If you see it only as money, then hindi ka gaganahan. But if it's part of your call, then it's something we get up and do. One simple statement is, if I care about my calling, then I will do MPD excellently. I know you care about your calling. So let's do MPD excellently.